Is it really possible to turn your financial life around at 63 if you've got little or no savings? That's a question that's on the minds of millions of people around the world who are facing retirement with little to no money set aside. Here are the things we believe you should look at doing, and we will examine them in detail later in the video. 1. Never forget, you're not on your own. 2. Evaluate your circumstances. 3. Be aware of your financial figures. Budget. 4. Conduct a 30-day spending review. 5. Retain a greater portion of your earnings. 6. Pay off all debts. 7. Brainstorm and be creative. 8. Work a little longer. 9. Improve physical and mental health. 10. Make learning a priority. The thought of it can be daunting, to say the least. You've worked hard your entire life, and the idea that you might not have enough to live comfortably in your golden years is a scary one. But here's the thing, it's not uncommon. In fact, many people find themselves in this exact situation, and it's not because they're irresponsible or don't care about their financial futures. Sometimes life just gets in the way, and before you know it, retirement is knocking on the door. The key is to not give up, to not throw your hands up in the air and say, "It's too late for me." Because the truth is, it's never too late. Recovery from no savings at 63 is possible, but it's going to take some hard work and dedication. It's going to take a willingness to make some tough choices and face some uncomfortable realities. But if you're willing to put in the effort, you can turn your financial life around and build a more secure future for yourself. Please know that we are trying to give advice for some situations, but each of yours is different. Please take what you can use, and if that helps you, then that is our intent. So let's start at the top and discuss the details of what you can do. Number 1 is you're not on your own. There are resources available to you for free to help with the process. Check with your local Department of Social Services for elder resources. Do a search on the internet to find sources with the phrase assistance programs for seniors or help for seniors with budgeting. There are people in your area that want to help either through the local government or through local charities. Now, maybe you don't like the idea of asking for help. Many people like to think of themselves as more independent than that. Just remember, you are not alone in this, but you have to reach out. They won't come looking for you to help. Don't be embarrassed to ask for help from all sources. That is why they are there. Number 2, evaluate your circumstances means you have to take stock of what funds you have in all sources: 401k, Roth IRA, stock, bonds, and cash. Go to ssa.gov, log in or create an account, and determine how much you will receive at each year you could retire. This will give you a base to start working with. When we say, be aware of your financial figures for number 3, we mean for you to put down in an Excel spreadsheet all of the income you have, all of the debts you have, and all of the bills you have on a monthly basis. Once you have these figures, you can use the spreadsheet to identify how much money you will have at present. You then take the bills and income and start to craft a budget that lets you do what-if analysis on your spending so you can identify what the minimum amount you will need in retirement. Some of the figures, such as rent, may be something you will need to research and anticipate yearly rate increases for based on recent increases. There are a number of sites, such as bolding.com, that will allow you to do this online and provide a Monte Carlo simulation so that you don't have to craft the Excel spreadsheet yourself. RamseySolutions.com also has a free budgeting app that you can sign in to use. Number 4, conduct a 30-day spending review. This works with the data captured in number 3 to identify areas where you can reduce your spending. For example, in a 30-day period, you might find that you spend $300 on eating out. This can be reduced by cooking at home. Now, we often hear people say, but then we will spend the money on groceries. And while it's true that spending in that area will increase, understand that the goal here is to save money. So, you'll need to shop with coupons and buy cost-effective food. You'll find that eating leftovers and shopping smart will save a considerable amount of that eating out spend. This is just one example of what you will find when doing the audit. When my husband and I did this, we found we were spending over $800 per month eating out. This was almost the payment on the house at the time, and we were completely taken aback. Needless to say, we captured much of this back to service debt. Number 5 is retain a greater portion of your earnings. By this, we refer back to number 4, in which you identify areas that you can cut. When you look at the amount you have coming in, generally you can find money in the outlay that you can keep and use to pay off debt. I say pay off debt because the intent behind finding money in your budget is to dig yourself out of debt, thus keeping more of the money you earn. For number 6, pay off all debts, we recommend that you read up on Dave Ramsey's Debt Snowball. In a nutshell, the snowball method wants you to list all of your debts, write them all down from the least amount to the most, and start paying them off one at a time with the smallest amount first on the list. This gives you a psychological boost when you celebrate each payoff, not by buying anything, by the way, but by celebrating the fact of the payoff. You boost yourself to get them all done. Brainstorm and be creative, as number 7 means list all the options you can think of to make extra money each month. Depending on how long you have to work, you may decide to keep working and try something that takes longer, such as YouTube. Or if you plan to retire sooner than a year or two out, then you will need to potentially work a second job to build up some savings after you pay off your debts. Do research on YouTube for side hustles, and you will literally find thousands of videos with ideas for you. Number 8 is work a little longer. Sometimes this is just not possible because of your health or your job just ends. We understand that. If you can work longer, if only a couple of years, you will find that it gives you a runway to get the debts paid off and some savings built up. When you have the option of working longer, once your debts are paid off, you can then increase your 401k contribution by as much as you can afford, for as long as you can afford. Improve physical and mental health is number 9, and I have a confession. I do not take very good care of my own physical self like I should. You may also have this issue. We have to get off the couch and make it a priority. I do try to eat well. We cook at home a lot, and that is a multi-prong approach with eating healthy, helping with number 5, keeping more of my money, as well as staying healthy. I believe that eating healthy also helps with mental health. Number 10 is make learning a priority. Just by watching this video, you are doing exactly that. So congratulations. Keep up the good work. Keep looking at videos, reading books, and talking to experts. Some typical stories. Sarah was 62 when she realized she had no savings. She had always intended to start saving for retirement, but somehow it just never happened. She had worked hard her entire life, raising a family and building a successful career. But when she got divorced in her late 50s, she was left with a pile of debt and no clear plan for her financial future. Like many people, Sarah felt overwhelmed and ashamed. She didn't know where to start or how to even begin to tackle her financial problems. But with the help of a financial advisor, she started to get back on track. She began by creating a budget and prioritizing her spending. She cut back on non-essential expenses and started to build up her emergency fund. It wasn't easy, and there were plenty of times when Sarah felt like giving up. But she persisted, and slowly but surely she started to make progress. She began to pay off her debt, one bill at a time. She started to rebuild her credit score, and eventually she started to save for retirement. Sarah's story is just one example of how it's possible to recover from no savings at 60. But it's not the only one. I've spoken to countless people who have faced similar challenges and have come out the other side. Take John, for instance. John was 61 when he lost his job due to company downsizing. He had always been the breadwinner, and suddenly, he found himself with no income and no savings. He was in a state of panic, unsure of how he was going to provide for himself and his family. But John refused to give up. He started by applying for unemployment benefits and began to look for new job opportunities. He also started to cut back on expenses, selling his luxury car and downsizing to a smaller home. And with the help of a financial advisor, he started to build a new budget and create a plan for his financial future. It wasn't easy, and there were plenty of times when John felt like throwing in the towel, but he persisted, and eventually, he started to see progress. He found a new job, and he started to rebuild his savings. In conclusion, these stories are just a few examples of how people can recover from no savings at 63. But they're not the only ones. There are countless people out there who have faced similar challenges and have come out the other side. The key, of course, is to take action. It's to face your financial fears head-on and start making changes. It's to seek out the help and advice you need, whether it's from a financial advisor or a trusted friend or family member. For Sarah, the turning point came when she started to take control of her finances. She realized that she had the power to change her situation, and that was incredibly empowering. For John, the turning point came when he started to rebuild his sense of self-worth. He realized that he wasn't defined by his job or his financial situation, and that was incredibly freeing. The point is, there is always a turning point. There is always a moment when you can take control and start to make changes, and it's never too late. As you start to make progress, you'll begin to feel a sense of hope and optimism that you thought was lost forever. You'll start to see a future that's filled with possibility and promise. Of course, it's not always easy. There will be setbacks and challenges along the way, but if you persist, if you keep pushing forward, you'll get there. You'll start to build a more secure financial future, and you'll be able to live the life you've always wanted. The stories and strategies I've shared today are just a few examples of how people can recover from no savings at 63. But the lessons are universal. They apply to anyone who's facing financial challenges, regardless of their age or situation. The first lesson is that it's never too late to take action. It's never too late to start making changes and building a more secure financial future. The second lesson is that you don't have to do it alone. There are people and resources available to help you, whether it's a financial advisor, a trusted friend, family member, or a local charity. People are waiting to help you, but you must reach out to them. They won't come to you. And the third lesson is that persistence is key. Recovery from no savings at 63 is not easy, but it is possible, and it's worth it. In the end, it's all about taking control and taking action. It's about facing your financial fears head-on and starting to make changes. It's about building a more secure financial future and living the life you've always wanted. So if you're facing retirement with little to no savings, don't give up. Don't lose hope. Take action, seek out the help and advice you need, and start building a more secure financial future. You got this. And if you'd like to share your own story of recovery, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Please contact a professional financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Thanks for watching.